Hello and welcome everyone to another exciting episode of the Super Carlin Gaming Mario Kart 8 Roulette Challenge, where Ben and I are trying to 3-star every cup with randomly chosen karts and characters. Ben, are you ready?
I hope I have something with better traction this round, because Rainbow Road, I feel like we should have like a counter on the last episode because it was so bad. I was just off it over and over and over and over again. So
yeah,
fingers crossed for not the wooden wheels.
Yeah, we are going to have to get some lucky rolls to beat the special cup with the
so.
3-star. I think Rainbow Road is going to be our great challenge, as you might expect. Should we go back to the characters we just were?
Yeah, why don't we do it? Who was I last round?
You were Pickle Peach.
Pinkle Peach. Oh, okay,
you were
so
right
not that
there.
far off.
Oh, man. Crazy. Oh, no, I'm the villager. Ugh, it's just gross.
Not a good start.
Not a good start.
29.
All right, so...
Yoshi.
Hey!
There you go. Pretty good, but what color?
Ooh, good question. 5?
Yeah.
All right, so...
Yellow.
Yellow Yoshi.
All right, I'll take it.
There you go.
Yellow's
Good
kind of
stuff.
fun.
Good stuff. The standard ATV. Okay, it's not a bad start. Oh, I'll get the wooden wheels.
Oh.
And 8.
Oh, well, at least I matched the character.
Frogger.
There you go. All froggered out. Look at this. It looks like just dead 50s. I think the wooden wheels I don't like them at all.
I do not like wooden wheels.
It turns out wooden wheels not good for high-speed kart racing. Yeah.
Who knew?
Who knew?
7.
Hey, this is what you basically started with when James
I know,
was playing.
26.
Hey, the cyber
there you go.
slicks. Oh, so close.
My heart got all excited.
Gets so excited.
We're
Man,
fairly
we're pretty similar, yeah.
A little bit better in the traction department than last round for me. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we'll see. Let's have a see. So I guess we're doing the Lightning Cup.
Okay,
That's where we're at. We only got a single star in it last time, so there's another Rainbow Road, but it's the N64 one. It's a little bit wider. I think we can handle it. Here we go. Tick tock clock. Tick clock clock. Tick clock tock. Tick tock.
One
clock.
of those is
right. One of those. It's a clock. Isn't what's important. I remember in Mario 64 there was a clock level, and even just discovering that you could go inside the clock face was exciting. And then you had to realize that where the hands pointed when you entered changed how fast things were moving inside. And it's like, that's a lot to realize for like a 9-year-old.
That's true. That's true.
Here we go.
All right. Ozzy Kingman has a question.
All right, Ozzy, fire away.
Any advice for dealing with bullies and making friends in high school?
Oh, man.
Okay, so this is like one of these things that like our mom was like the world's biggest person on, is basically don't let them win, which basically means like don't let them get to you, don't let them see it, even if they're annoying you, don't try to like retaliate. I can tell you one thing that I was so aware of, is that I was very, very bad at comebacks, and I did not stop me from at times attempting to use them, and it usually got me in so much worse trouble because I would come back with a really dumb comeback, and they would know it, and they would make fun of me for the comeback, and I think ultimately it's kind of that idea of even if somebody's attempting to be mean to you, sometimes even just like leaning in will change the way that they feel about having like made fun of you, maybe. If you guys could you agree, disagree with any of that?
I would agree that what they want, it's basically the same as like an internet troll. Like what they want is to get the rise out of you.
Exactly.
Typically.
Yeah.
So it's like if you let them get it out of you, then they're gonna keep doing it because they think they have someone who can
right. Like, and the other thing to keep in mind is that it is always usually coming from some version of insecurity.
Right.
Generally, people who are pretty secure with themselves do not have any need to make fun of others.
Right. I don't know if there's like other schools. I think there's a lot of like in movies and stuff. It's a lot of times like some cool high school like jock who's like being a bully. That wasn't really my experience in school. It was normally the people who were kind of mean were like everyone sort of knew that about them, so they weren't like extremely well liked anyway.
Right. Yeah, like I have not typically found that being mean is something that makes you popular.
Right.
Yeah. So no, I would totally and completely agree with that. Yeah, it seemed like that was sort of a general opinion.
Yeah.
Or consistency.
Mm-hmm. So I guess ignore it is the best advice, I would say. That's really, I know it's so much easier said than done, especially if they're like, if it's like physical or something. But if they're like physically hurting you, like absolutely tell somebody.
Please,
please do that. Don't let your pride get in the way of that. There's no shame in that.
Right.
That's not okay at all.
Jay, did you ever have any experiences with bullying? Like, was there ever anybody that like stood out to you as like somebody that was difficult for you to have to be around?
I don't think, like, not in like a big way. I don't know. Some people thought it was funny to like just point out that our dad was on TV over and over, and I was like, I don't. Why? So what? I don't. Yeah. That was about it. Not a ton. Did you have any sort of like? Yeah.
Yeah, usually that was not even something I was ever even like. It definitely never felt like bullying. It was mostly just like, I haven't heard that one before.
Yeah, good one.
Let's see. I'm trying to think if I had any issues with anybody ever being like especially mean to me in particular.
Yeah.
There were plenty of people that I felt like were kind of difficult to be around, but they would have fallen more into that classification where everybody just sort of knew that they were difficult to be around.
Right.
There was weirdly, okay, so I don't think this is a very common thing. The soccer players in the year above me.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, they were like this very weird thing. Like, I don't feel like soccer players generally would have the reputation for being like the dudes of the school necessarily, but there were all of these guys that all played travel soccer together.
Oh no!
And all of them as a collective were not especially pleasant people to be around.
Totally, yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about, and I would agree. Not particularly fun people.
Yeah.
I mean, that being said, if you were on the soccer team with them, it's not like they were particularly awful to you.
Yeah, I feel like because I'm trying not to use names, this is making this story really, really boring.
Yeah, definitely don't use names. That seems like its own kind of bullying.
Yes, it does. It does. Yeah. So anyway, maybe we'll move on to the next question then.
All right, great. I got my phone. It's sort of this is kind of along the same lines actually. Jesse the book nerd.
Jesse the book
What's
nerd.
up, Jesse?
How's it going?
What do you do when people put you down because you have a different opinion than them?
I mean, I think it can depend on the opinion, for one, but hopefully. It is kind of like along the same lines. They're putting you down for it just because they probably feel very passionate about the one, whatever it is, or are just uneducated about it and unwilling to listen to whatever your opinion is. I can't imagine though, like having like a really good friend or something who was like really giving you trouble for this. You know, typically like if someone's like a better friend of yours, they're gonna at least like hear you out and try and understand your point of view. So I don't know.
So I think that there's a quote that like I go back to a lot of times, but it's basically like a sign of intelligence is basically being able to recognize a position even if you don't agree with it. I think what I try to do with most people is that like I'm perfectly okay with people having different opinions than me. I think in general it's just I don't ever try to project my opinion on anybody else. It's mostly just like this is why I feel the way that I do about this, and I can understand that you may feel differently because you've had your own set of circumstances that just sort of like have drawn you to where you are.
Yeah. Like I mean, if someone was like, you know what, The Phantom Menace is the best Star Wars movie.
Right, but you know, like if it's the best Star Wars movie for them because...
Objectively wrong, but opinion okay.
Right, but that's the thing, yeah. So like it comes down to this thing though, like if somebody were to tell me a story and say that like, you know, it was the first time that their family bonded over something together. And so as a result, they really like The Phantom Menace because like it served this role alternate to maybe like its cinematic presence.
Right.
You know, that's something to me where it's like, of course it's your favorite then. Like, I can totally see how that has become...
Maybe you really like pod racing.
Right, yeah. I mean,
maybe you're the only human who can do it.
Maybe. Yeah, like if you're Anakin, I bet you loved it.
Oh, man.
Finally getting your story told.
I think that kid probably did not love it in the end. Anyway. Like the actor. I don't think the actor is very well received anymore.
Little Anakin?
Yeah. Anyway, that's not the answer to this question. I guess the other thing is like, how are you doing a good? Just try and see things from their point of view. Like if they're having trouble seeing it from yours, or they're disagreeing.
Right.
Like where are they coming from? Like are you doing the same thing to them, or are you just like, or are you kind of projecting this idea that your idea is so obviously much better that, it's maybe you're having an impasse there where they feel the same way about you.
Right. And this is even like where you could have somebody who like objectively knows that Empire is the best Star Wars movie, like in terms of critical acclaim. Thus far.
We'll see.
But this is one of the. I would say that this would be like a Tyler argument from when we were growing up. Like he would know that this was true even if he didn't in particular agree with it, and just get into a whole thing with you about it. So I think that there are times, like where you can even be right, but you need to be attempting to see things from the other person's perspective.
Do we have another race? I always think this is the last one.
More,
there is one more. Jeez. Oh my goodness.
What's going on? It's a long one.
It's a long one. Here we go. The Frogger character. Oh, it's Rainbow Road. Duh. Said that at the beginning. Frogger's doing okay thus far.
Do you have 3 firsts?
I have 2 firsts and a second. So we're not gonna 3-star it, sadly, but
can we 2-star it? Have we ever even gotten a 2-star? I feel like I don't even.
Yeah, 2-star would be 3 firsts and a second.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're saying there's a chance.
So you're
All
right.
We're a little light on questions because we did some battle mode here. Jordan B has some questions.
Okay.
Jordan B.
That is Jordan the Awesome Mod from
Jordan
Discord.
the Phenomenal Cosmic Mod.
Oh, excuse me. Yes. What is the worst date you've ever been on?
Oh my gosh, this is so easy. Oh man. I mean, I would put the fault on myself for one, but also on her. You know what? It just shouldn't have even been on a date. So I won't name names or anything. Junior year, I needed like a prom date, and I was like, oh, this girl seems cute, and we had like same group of friends. I think it would probably be, I'd had like a bit of a crush on her for a little while based on nothing. Didn't know, but it was sort of the same thing. Like, oh yeah, you're like an attractive person who seems to have the same group of friends and kind of general family values and whatnot.
Family values and
whatever. Seems like we'd get along if we just hung out. So here was the mistake, is that first asked her to prom, and she was like, yeah, sure, because I think she just needed a date too. And then asked her on a date, at which point you sort of putting her in a position where it's like, you can't really say no, because we're already doing the prom thing. But I think she just had absolutely zero interest in like actually,
having a relationship
or going out in any sort of way. And so it was just super, super awkward the whole time. It was just went to a movie, and then I think you get like coffee afterwards, and I think I don't even like talking about it. I just got feeling like embarrassed thinking about it. But it was just not a good date. It was just super awkward. It was not a good dance. It was not a good anything. It was a
oh my gosh, ironically, I think mine was also my junior prom. I had a spectacularly awkward situation happen wherein I started dating a girl who went to a different school she was a freshman at the time. And so
1 star.
I had started dating her a little bit before like prom season would have been happening.
Mm-hmm, sure.
And so she wasn't allowed to go, and I had a friend from the track team who I had this sort of, if I can't find someone to go with, I'll take you type of arrangement happening. Mm-hmm. So I started dating this other girl, though, and the girl from the track team goes out and, bought a dress and all this stuff. And my girlfriend's parents would not let her come to another school's prom. And so I ended up going to prom with a girl that I wasn't dating.
Weird.
It was amazingly weird. It was amazing. And I felt so, I think I really wanted to go, and so I was sort of letting her guilt me into this idea that she had bought a dress and I owed it to her or something.
So what did your actual girlfriend think of you going to your prom with a different girl?
Actual girlfriend was rather horrified, and the entire night. And the girl on the track team had a massive crush on me. So it was.
That sounds right.
It was very, very uncomfortable.
This sounds awful.
This is
way worse than mine.
It was not a good situation the whole way through. But either way, we survived it, team, all together. And here we are today to talk about it.
All right, just laughing and feeling embarrassed.
I'm going to send this video to both of them.
No, Good luck with that. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like on this video if you haven't already. Subscribe so you don't miss any future Mario Kart action from us. The Nuzlocke returns next week, right?
Monday.
No.
Or wait, is this going
I'm
on
sorry.
the same week?
Never mind. It's already happening. If you
wait.
haven't checked out the Nuzlocke yet, go check it out.
I thought...
You know what? Either the Nuzlocke is coming, or it's already happening. And you should be excited for it and go check it out. Or be on the lookout, depending on when we decide the schedule is. See you next time.
Bye.
Let's go.